My name is Anna Smolowitz. I was born in 1947 in a displaced persons camp in Plattling, Germany, which is not too far from Dachau concentration camp. Displaced people are those who survive a war, and my parents, Sam and Helen Smolowitz, survived Auschwitz and Buchenwald, where they were prisoners of the camps for over 5 years. My father was a cook at Buchenwald, which is extraordinary because it saved his life. Every day he said he survived because he was lucky. And my mother, she was secretary to Adolf Eichmann, notorious Adolf Eichmann, who invented the gas chambers. She had to bring him his sandwich every day to the gas chambers, where he watched as he ate. Then she waited and took the sandwich back to the kitchen where she saw my father, and she remembered him. My father was already married, had a wife and a daughter, my sister, and his wife and daughter were taken to the left after arriving in Auschwitz to the gas chambers with her parents. My father was one of 9 brothers and sisters. They all had children, my first cousins. 1 cousin survived. My father was the only survivor of his family. My mother there were 5 in her family, and 3 of them survived. 3 sisters survived. So, from the time I was born, I lived and ate and breathed the Holocaust. My parents had blue numbers on their arms, and breakfast, lunch, dinner, I would look at them. Once I asked my dad, "What is that?" when I was about 8, and he said, "It's my telephone number. I don't want to forget it." I knew that was not true, but I didn't know what it was till I was about 12, and we read the Diary of Anne Frank in school, and they said they took her away, and she went to a concentration camp, and it started to sound similar to my mother's story. And I went home and I asked my mother, "Were you in a concentration camp?" And she said, "Yes, 3 of them." And the story unfolded. And I remember thinking I wasn't breathing, listening to it. I asked my father what his story was, and he said he didn't remember, and he didn't tell me. And so I lived with it and thought about it. And then when I was about 13, my mother got a phone call from Washington, D.C. saying Adolf Eichmann had been captured and was being tried in Jerusalem, and would she come and be a witness? She said yes, and she went. I had a best friend at the time who lived next door. I'll call her Joan. And she came over, and we were very close, and she said, "I know your mom's going over to that trial of that guy who supposedly killed all those Jewish people, but my parents said that was a great big lie. That didn't ever happen, and you guys are just looking for attention." And she was my very best friend, and I, for the first time in my life, thought maybe there are people who don't like Jewish people, maybe. And that's what happened in Germany. People didn't like Jewish people, and so Hitler decided what to do about that. Kill them, get rid of them. And he had a major success at it, because before the war, there were 3.5 million Jews in Poland, where my parents are from, and after the war, there were less than 1,000. What a success. And the source was hate. And that's why I began thinking about writing something, and then maybe taking it to Germany one day and telling them what they did. That was my plan. I was about 14 then. And so I started writing stories my mother told me and thinking of characters that maybe would go into a play. I wasn't really into theater then, but I knew this would be a way to enact it to reenact it and maybe have people understand exactly what happened. That was my plan. And I got older. And the Holocaust never left my family. I could tell because my father would talk to himself while he was shaving, and I would sit outside the bathroom door and I would listen to him. And he would say the names of his sisters and brothers and his nieces and his nephews and his parents and his grandparents, and he would talk to them, and he would tell them he was sorry that he survived and they didn't. And I sat on the floor and listened to him many, many mornings. And I thought, I have to write that too. And so one day, I was already in college studying theater, not sure what to do with it as a profession. I wasn't going to be an actor or a director. I knew that. What was I going to do with it? And I was guided to walk past a museum with artwork in it. And it said, Children's Holocaust Art, now on display. So I went in and I looked around, and it was extraordinary. It were these pictures on, looked like brown paper, torn brown paper, and wrapping paper, and whatever paper those kids could find. And the youngest artist was 4, and she had a name, and she came from somewhere. And then it said, age 7, died at Auschwitz. And I stepped back and thought, my God, this is a kid. Kids died. Of course, they killed men, women, and children. So I went to the next drawing and the next poem. I never saw another butterfly. That was the last butterfly. And there was a drawing of bars and butterfly on the outside, and drawings of dogs and cats and dinners and Passover and Hanukkah and home. And I took my breath away. And then there was this letter from one boy, and it said, if you should find this, you have to tell someone what happened to us. I want my life back. I want to go home. Remember us. Chaim Landau, age 14, died at Auschwitz. So I sat down at that museum and I asked for some paper if anyone had any. And somebody said, all I have is this brown bag. So I tore it in pieces and it resembled some of the art. And I started writing, and I wrote the names of my mom's 2 sisters, Celia and Leah. And then I wrote the name of my grandfather, Aaron. And I wrote these names down, and the characters began to form right there in the museum. And this was 1970, and I was getting a master's in theater. And my advisor said, you can use this play for your master's degree, but you got to write it and direct it, cast it, got to make it a play. By the end of the year, go. And I did. And that was a long time ago. And from that day to today, that play has continued being performed all over the world, including TEREZIN, where it takes place, including Germany, in schools there, Frankfurt, Berlin, including Auschwitz itself, in a gas chamber. That's where we performed it, including Panama, Cuba, Mexico, in Spanish, and finally the New York City and the Fringe Festival. That was incredible. The play's seen a lot of performances and a lot of audiences, but the audiences that I find most compelling are kids, middle school, high school. That's who I find important to hear and to see this play and to understand that the story is true, that it happened to my family and to me as a survivor's daughter. Yeah, I've lived with this my entire life. And it's a heavy load and a heavy burden to bear. And I feel I must and I need to tell their story over and over again until people can connect the dots to what's happening today in their own community and schools and the country, until they understand that there is a connection between prejudice and hate and the end result, death, to innocent men, women, and children, because they're another religion, color, because they're different from you or me. And that's the only reason we will hate them and eventually eliminate them through the most horrible possible means. And that's what the play says. And it's tough to hear it. It's tough to do it. Imagine how hard it is for children actors to portray those children. But they do it. And we've had many, many an actor. One of my oldest actors today is almost 60. We're getting older, is my point. And yet we find it important to continue to keep going, especially because of what we're seeing happening all over the world. I hope when you see the play that you take away with you some of what I consider profound messages and understanding about yourself. Everyone has a little bit of prejudice about something or someone else, but maybe now is the time to look at that and to ask yourself, how are we different? How are we alike? What do we all care about? What do we love? What do we hate? And aren't we pretty much the same human beings from the same human race, no matter what? And that's what I wish for you. I think you have to stand up and be counted. I think you have to speak out when you see injustice and unfairness, when you see someone bully another kid or an adult bully another adult, when you hear people name call, when you hear people be hateful and mean and sinister and prejudiced, when you hear all of that stuff, get your courage together and stand up and say, no, no, stop. I don't accept this for myself or for my world, not the world I live in. I want something better for us. I want us to be better people. That's what I hope you can say. And that's what I hope you can do with your life so it can have some greater meaning and purpose. I know we all want that. So you're about to see the play, and it's complicated. And on many levels, there are emotions expressed: sadness, fear, anger, joy, all emotions. And you might have a reaction to that, and that's okay. And sometimes when you have a reaction, you laugh or you make a noise or you clap or you cheer. That's okay. I really ask you to pay attention and to watch. These actors have worked so hard to prepare for you today to do this play, and it's going to take so much in them. And if you're very quiet, you'll hear every word. So thank you so much for having the courage to be the audience today. And I hope you take away something of great importance and use for the rest of your life. Thank you. Already I had been here for 2 years, 4 months, and 16 days. Even so, I remember that particular day vividly. All of Theresienstadt was preparing to make a propaganda film. The Nazis would title it, "Hitler Gives the Jews a City." But we called it The Great Big Lie. Healthy Danish prisoners arrived that morning to be actors in the film. That same day, thousands of sick and dying Jews were taken away on that very same transport, number 6429. Where were they going? No one knew for sure. Most of them were accomplished musicians, brought here to play Verdi's most beloved requiem for Adolf Eichmann and other SS officers. On that day, the International Red Cross was coming to hear Verdi's requiem and to inspect Theresienstadt. I could hardly believe it. Those angels of mercy, the Red Cross, were coming here to Camp Therezin Hell. Surely they would see us children starving and living in filth. Then they would know the truth and we'd be free. Surely. Each day, train number 6429 arrived full, cramping us all inside the walls of this little fortress. But on that day, 2,000 souls vanished. I heard they were going to the east to be relocated, somewhere in Poland. Later, I learned it was a place of no return. They called it Auschwitz, the death camp.
What are you looking at? Musicians. At least 100 of them. That's all we need. More useless musicians. And just what are they going to eat?
I'm surprised, Corinna. There's something you don't know. But Frau Hopst must have told you. They're here to play music for us. Verdi's Requiem. How fitting. Music for the dead. There's supposed to be some very important people coming here. Just imagine. It's TEREZIN's first major cultural event. I bet there's more to it than that. Anyway, I'm sure Frau Hopst will save you a front row seat, my dear.
How do you know anything about that? No one tells you anything.
I keep my eyes and ears open, little Frau Hopst. Yesterday, in the latrine line, I heard Commandant Rom say we better clean up this rat hole for inspection. How rude. He calls our home sweet home a rat hole.
Give me that. Can't you do anything right?
Did you hear them yesterday? The crying? The screaming? They moved 4,000 people from a hospital into an attic with no windows and no air. I can see I'm breaking your heart.
I can't hear you, Miriam. You'll have to speak up.
And now the hospital's going to be a concert hall for the Requiem. Just imagine it. All our visitors will come to observe us, all us mice in our newly painted cages, listening to Verdi and eating chocolates. And of course, we'll be on our best behavior. And Herr Eichmann will boast, "Why, Commandant Rom, what a fine job you've done here in Camp Paradise. They're living better than the rest of us in these difficult times. Leave it to the Jews. They'll always end up on top."
You're full of it. Why don't you just shut up?
You know what he'll tell them? Our visitors? The TEREZIN is a holiday health spa reserved for only wealthy, privileged Jews.
Oh, don't start that again.
I think they actually believe it themselves.
I wonder if Frau Hopst ever hears you talk like this. Why don't you just bring your complaints to her?
Why bother? I have you for that.
I'd be careful of my criticisms if I were you, Miss Know-It-All. The walls have ears, and Frau Hopst is just on the other side.
Jawohl, Commandant.
Oh, shut up.
Where did you get that lipstick?
It's a present from Frau Hopst.
A present? And just what did you have to do to get it?
Nothing. She just likes me, that's all.
She just likes you. Get off that bed. You don't sleep there.
Miss somebody special just like Chaim. He thought he was somebody special just like you. And you're going to end up just like him.
How dare you say his name? You have no right to.
Rights? You're talking about rights in here? Now you listen to me, Miss Rembrandt. Your rights are stated clearly in the regulations of Camp TEREZIN. I hope you've bothered to read them. And you'll follow them like everyone else. You're no exception. I wonder if Hops would think it's so funny. Do you want to say it again? What did you say under your breath? I heard you. Get up. Stop, Corinna, stop. You're gonna have to stop, Corinna, stop.
Come on, it's okay.
What are they waiting for? Don't they know that I'm hungry now?
What are they waiting for? Don't they know I'm hungry now? Stupid know-nothings. You're lucky to wake up at all. Spoiled rotten, both of you.
Well, I'm still hungry.
Stop it, Corinna. You get more food than any of us. You don't have the right to make fun of Celia.
Well, everyone knows about their rights today. Like wild animals, all of you. Never seen a potato before.
You always get the most. Tomorrow I'll get the bucket.
Who says?
Didn't even get any food.
Okay? I don't see why we have to get up early. For instance, here. After we cleaned the hospital yesterday, I was so tired. With just a little more sleep, I could.
Oh, shut up.
Could maybe...
You talk stupid all the time.
Stop it, Corinna. Rachel is anything but stupid.
She doesn't bother me, Celia.
Good for you.
I've made up my mind. From now on, I'm gonna look on the bright side of things. For one thing, it's always warmer here than at home. There it always snowed and snowed. Never warm rain like here.
Idiot. Nobody cares.
Let her talk, Corinna. Go ahead, Rachel. I'm listening.
It would snow all day, and then when the snow melted, our cellar always flooded. Remember, Celia? Mom would say, "Get the bucket, Rachel, or we'll be swinging it over our head." One day, I found the most delicate little thing floating in our cellar. Remember when I found that little bird swimming in our cellar? He was chirping and flopping his wings and desperately trying not to drown.
Yes,
I
I
think he was
remember.
doing the breaststroke. So I dried him off, and I invited him upstairs for dinner. And he said, "Yes, chirping, as long as it's not me you're having."
Are you deaf? I said shut up.
Maybe I couldn't keep him because he chirped too much. Chirp, chirp.
Empty. That was fast, huh? Sometimes I wonder exactly how many potatoes could one person eat?
I think 2 dozen a day, maybe even 3. Let's see. If we each ate 36 potatoes,
Here, I have a crayon.
36 potatoes, and add in 20 or so radishes, how many would we have eaten?
Well,
I told you to stop talking. You're an idiot.
Takes one to know one.
If you're trying to hurt my feelings,
Feelings, Miss Commandant, are for human beings.
Good job. Okay, now let's do another one.
I told you to stop.
One, up.
I think the trains. Come on,
We
Can you
ate.
see
I haven't
anything
turn
yet?
on me.
I don't know. Look at all those people getting off the train. They're all bald, even the ladies. They look like hard-boiled eggs.
I've never seen that before. Why don't they have any hair?
So stupid. Don't ask too many questions, they'll shave your hair off too.
Stop, Corinna. They just had lice, so they shaved it off.
Are they gonna take my hair?
No.
Oh, let me see, Rachel.
All right, but don't push. Look there at the first car. Train number 6429. All those people getting off the train, they must have been packed in like sardines, like us. Remember, Celia?
I wonder if they know where they are.
I wonder if they know where they're going.
Don't start that again.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Look, the bald people have numbers printed on their arms. How'd they do that?
You better shut up or you'll both get numbered.
How'd they put the numbers on? Did they paint them on?
No, you fool. It would come off when you wash. That is, if you ever wash.
She's not a fool, Corinna.
How'd they do it, Rachel?
Why doesn't anyone ask me?
How?
How?
Frau Hops told me. She tells me everything.
Sure, for a price.
As I was saying, Frau Hops says that it's like a tattoo. They burn the numbers into your arm with a big, hot iron. Burn, not paint.
That must hurt a lot.
How else can they keep track of you?
Look at them all. They're pushing and shoving. They're just trying to get something to eat. They're just like us.
Just like you and Celia.
It's all right to push if you have to, like we did on the streetcar back home.
Look over there at the gates. They're marching somewhere with shovels. Why do they have shovels? Are they going to dig something?
Maybe they're going to work.
Or maybe they're going on a hiking trip like when Papa took us.
With shovels, Rachel?
Maybe they're gonna
They're
plant a
going
garden.
to bury themselves.
What do you mean?
Nothing. I'm sorry. Just forget I said anything.
There she goes again, as if she knows anything.
Well, why don't you tell us since you seem to know so much?
Very well, if you insist. You know how they turned that hospital into a concert hall? And that building over there into a cafe? All the changes around here? Well, I know that they're going to be making a movie here tomorrow, and that the Danish Jews were sent to be in it because they look so healthy. And that's why I'm going to be in the movie also. And then the Red Cross people will see that it's not so bad here. And the name of the movie is going to be TEREZIN, Hitler's gift to the Jews. And every movie house in the world is going to see it. And Frau Hops says that it will prove once and for all just how good you Jews have it.
And that's what I thought. Thank you, Fraulein Hopst.
You don't know anything, so stop trying to make them think that you do.
Look,
What do you see?
the ball people are starting to leave.
Only the old ones, though.
No, there are children in the last car.
But they just got here. Where are they going, do you think?
It really doesn't matter, Rachel.
But maybe they're going home. And maybe they're not.
Maybe they'll go away and won't come back. Useless old things. More food for us.
You see anyone we know?
No.
See anyone you know? When's the last time you saw anyone you knew?
Corinna, leave them alone, please.
Oh, sorry, did someone say something?
Maybe Mama's here.
Maybe.
Her Papa?
Out of my way. Frau Hops, Colonel Senders, permission to bathe?
Frau Hops, Rachel Langer, water, please.
Frau Hop, Celia Langer, more potatoes, please.
Always wants more.
Frau Hopst, Miriam Fisher.
Who are they?
I don't know. Shh. Stop talking.
Hi, I'm Celia. This is Rachel. What's your name?
You,
wanna play
come
with
here. Hey, what's your name, little fat girl? Answer me. Speak when you are spoken to. What's
Let her
that
go,
in your
let her
hand?
go.
Give that to me.
It's okay.
Here we have one Aaron Shapiro and one Leah Petro, age 8, Danish Jews, parents Henry and Fela Petro, mother Jewish, father Christian. Well, then you're not really a Jew, are you? I said you're not Jewish. I am speaking to you. Answer me,
father
you're being
is
spoken
a
to. I
musician.
wasn't talking to you.
Her father's a musician.
I'm not interested in you,
orchestra,
imbecile,
but
but
my
you.
father.
So,
She
but
can't hear you.
You.
She can't hear you. She can't hear anyone.
Attention, Fraulein, dummy and hair imbecile. We have rules here in TEREZIN. We almost had a perfect record until one Chaim Landau disobeyed the rules of the Third Reich and was sent far, far away. And now we're back to normal. Here are the rules of Block 22 by order of Commandant Rom and me. Every morning we get up at Reveille, not before or after. We make our beds, then we stand in formation like so.
Don't mind her. We salute no one.
For now, you will stand at the end of the line. Is that clear? Perfectly clear? If not, the punishment could be very severe.
Look, we've been through this once today. The trip was 2 days. We just need to find somewhere to rest. Do you mind if we sit over there?
Yes, I do mind. I wasn't finished.
Don't get too comfortable. This isn't your final destination. The little girl will stay with us, no doubt, but they'll come back for you. You go to the men's barrack, block 12.
As I was saying, every morning we get up at Reveille, we make our beds, then wait for permission to eat. This is the food bucket.
Up, honestly.
Sorry,
Take it.
wrong bucket. This one is for emergencies. Do something with that. Later, another siren tells us that we can choose water with which to bathe or potatoes with which to eat. One and only one each day. There are some of us who never bathe. Remember, as Frau Hops tells us, cleanliness is next to godliness. And here are pencils, crayons, and papers. You're permitted to use them as you wish. All artwork must be approved by Frau Brandeis, which I will collect at the end of each day. Do you understand? Follow these rules carefully, or the punishment could be very severe.
Just mind your own business.
Thank you.
Don't mind her. She has quite the imagination. Do you mind if I speak with her?
That's all right, but she can't talk or hear you.
That's all right. Hello, little one. Would you like to sit with me? Here. Wear this. Wear everything you have. It's a nice bear you have. Your name is Leia? You really can't hear me, can you? What's her last name again?
Petro. We came with her family on the train. Her mother said she had a fever as a baby, and now she can't hear a thing.
In a way, she's lucky. She says a lot with her eyes. You're a pretty little one, aren't you?
Now hear this little fat one. You know, special case here.
What's her problem?
She's a legend in her own mind, that's all.
So, you're the real expert in here.
Well, I can tell you this much. When they call your number, go immediately, don't wait. You can either use the latrines or get extra food when you hear the first roll call. Eat first and then use the bucket. And don't be shy, it's too late for that. And eat every morsel because there's nothing until tomorrow.
That's all right. I'm not that hungry. Anyway, it's not so bad. You can get used to anything, right? What day is it? Monday or Tuesday?
I don't even know the month. I've lost track. But I mark lines on the floor under here.
Well, how long have you been here?
A lifetime. Just feels that way, I guess. Let's see. It's been exactly 821 days since I first came here. Chaim and I were on the same transport. That's all I really need to know anyway. Well, over here, that's Rachel and Celia. You've already had the pleasure of Corinna. I don't know how they made this mistake with you.
Well, block 22, right?
Well, that's right, that's where you are, but see here? Block 12.
Oh, there was so much confusion on the platform. Leia's father was upset.
They'll come back for you.
But what's your name?
Miriam. Miriam Fisher.
Aaron Shapiro.
Yes, I know. I overheard in the interrogation.
Right. So where do you sleep?
Over here? Look, this is not a hotel and you're not a guest.
That wasn't what I meant.
Then
No.
say what you mean. Look, understand this. TEREZIN's not a holiday health spa, whatever they told you. It's a lie. Keep clean. You don't ever want to get sick here. Yesterday, the hospital was turned into a concert hall for the Requiem, so you're out of luck if you catch a cold or worse. And there's not much else to show you, like a bathtub or a tea room. One last thing. After food, we begin work, picking up the latrines, trash, whatever it is for the day. Then art classes with Frau Brandeis and to bed, and it begins all over again tomorrow. So, welcome home. Welcome to Camp Paradise. That's a nice sweater. So your parents paid a lot of money to send you here?
Of course they did, didn't yours?
No.
Celia,
Yes?
do you want some food?
Yes.
Don't go up there to
Okay,
tap.
come on.
I'm so
I'll
hungry.
give you some food, but only for a price.
What do you mean?
Let's play a game. We haven't
Okay.
played a game in so long together. What's your dolly's name?
My doll's name is Celia, because she looks just like me.
Celia. How original. Can I see her?
Don't give it to her.
Can I have some food?
No, stop it. I said wait.
Okay.
Celia decided to go on a nice long walk. The day was beautiful. Blue skies, sun shining right down on her, green grass. And oh my gosh, there's some lovely flowers. Let's go smell them, why don't we? We go to smell them. Ah, smells so nice. Oh, some more over there. Ah, I love that smell.
Me too.
And then all of a sudden, she falls!
No! What happened?
It's okay. See, look, she has her apron and she has everything. I told you not to go up there.
I
you
know, but I
serious?
was so hungry.
It's okay. Here, look, we can act
I
like
didn't get any food.
Did I say you can get used to anything?
Ba, 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 ba,
She's all good.
ba, ba,
Are you
ba,
okay?
ba, da, da. Oh. It's the Requiem,
What's a requiem?
I don't know.
A masterpiece. Incredible composition. Just think, Verdi's own Requiem's right here.
Right here.
Raphael Schachter will conduct. My father's on the violin, Leah's father on the cello. Well, I'm a musician too, so I get excited about these things. I understand the importance of this music.
You weren't listening, were you? The hospital is going to be a concert hall for the Requiem, so the sick can drop dead for all you care. And they're dying like flies here every single day.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
I just told you, weren't you listening?
Look, we all get by the way we can. I play the piano, my father plays the violin, and we're both still alive. That's all I need to know.
Oh, so maestro, are they rolling in your piano at any moment?
I like the way that you say things.
I say what I think, get used to it. Now what are you looking at?
Nothing. I was.
Tell her it was just getting good.
Stay out of it,
Mind your
Corinna.
own business.
Let's show Miriam. Let's show Miriam drawing. Okay. Look, Miriam, we just drew this.
Well, that's nice, but it's upside down.
See, this is Mama and Papa, and this is me and Rachel.
It's beautiful.
Oh, so your family's here too then?
No.
That's too bad. I'm sorry.
Do you mind if I speak with her again? like to sit with me? Leia, I want to call you something special because you're a very special little girl. Now let's see. Ah, yes, Malenki. Papa used to call Inga Malenki. She had long braids down to here. I know you would have liked her. She was my friend, my very best friend. Would you like to be my new little friend, Malenki?
If she only knew the honor. We make no exceptions for you, Miss Fatty Bum.
Over here, Rachel. The trains are leaving again.
Hey,
Come on.
it's my turn.
Can you see how many cars there are this time, Rachel?
10, no, maybe 12.
Let me see, Rachel.
All right, but don't push.
You're always pushing and shoving.
It must be so hard to breathe. There's just not enough room.
I know. But they're all stuck together, like sardines.
At least it's warmer in the trains.
That's true.
Even hotter where they're going.
How do you know?
I just do. I heard Frau Hopst tell a woman that if she didn't move fast enough, she'd end up in Auschwitz, and that it's not too far from here.
Corinna, why do you always try to scare them?
What's Oswatch?
Auschwitz, you dumb girl.
I'm not dumb, stupid, or an idiot, Corinna.
Good for you.
I know exactly what it is. Whether you want to hear it or not. Fine. I'll tell you anyways. Frau Hopst says that it's a place where they have big ovens, bigger than you've ever seen before, and that it's very hot inside these ovens. She calls it the final solution to an old problem.
What problem?
The Jewish problem.
Stop it.
And that's where they send old, useless people or naughty children. And I'm not old, useless, or naughty, and my father's not even Jewish.
No, but you are a crazy and mean little girl.
What do they do with the people when they get there? Do they bake things in the ovens?
No, I should have thought of it sooner. They probably make bricks. Bricks to make houses to keep all the people
That
in.
makes sense, Rachel.
Do they bake things? No, they probably make bricks. Stupid know-nothings. They put you into two lines. One is for old, useless people and naughty children, and the other is for...
Stop, please.
Why?
Corinna Sanders, Rachel Langer, Celia Langer. Immediately, Corinna Sanders, Rachel Langer,
Wait,
and Celia Langer.
Frau Hopst, what about me and Leia Petro? It's better not to tell them about you yet. Well, we'll be next, hopefully.
What are you drawing?
Field?
Well, what's going to be in the field?
I don't know. Maybe some cows? And a girl with long, beautiful hair?
Is that girl your friend Inga? Oh, right. So, who's Inga?
She's just a friend. Well, not really. She was my friend once.
Is she in TEREZIN too?
Not likely. She's not one of us.
Oh.
Do you like to draw?
Excuse me?
Do you like to draw pictures or anything?
No, I was never very good at art. I'm a musician, like my father and my grandfather. You're not impressed, I can tell. Listen to this. My father won first seat violinist 3 years in a row.
Is that so?
That's a big honor where I come from.
Really, it's quite impressive. So, How about you? Where do you sit in the orchestra?
Sit?
No, they won't even let me stand with them. But I practice every day, and maybe one day I'll write my own symphony. Anything's possible, right?
So, was Inga a friend or not? You can't really be both.
Yes, you can. Look, drawing is easy. Anyone can do it, really?
Well, what am I supposed to do now?
You mark with it,
All right.
like this. Now, the girl in the field, in the picture,
Oh, yes, yes.
is going to be running with her hair streaming behind her. And the sun is blazing hot. What color do you want to make her hair?
I'm not sure. Red or yellow? Is there a right answer? No, this is a trick question, isn't it?
No, of course not. Make it any color you want. Any answer's right in art.
All right, then let's make it brown. Brown. Huh, I'm not that bad for a beginner.
Not at all.
So why do you talk about Inga so much if she's not really your friend?
Look, she was my best friend of all time friends. Can you just leave it at that?
Oh, all right. Did Inga like to draw, too?
Yes. We used to spend all our extra money on colored pencils and paint. Inga's mother thought we were foolish with the war coming on, but that last spring was so beautiful that we painted a picture of nearly everything in sight. Once, we painted a mural of the Rhine from memory. It's an amazing river, the Rhine.
Did you give it a special name?
What?
Your picture.
Oh, yes. We called it the Rippled Rhine. Papa liked it so much that he hung it above the pickled tongues in our butcher's shop.
Oh, that's disgusting.
No, really, it was good.
The tongues were?
No, silly, the picture. I'm glad we voted Papa could have it. We always voted on everything and always promised to share.
Did you say goodbye to your friend before you left?
No.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
I saw her and I talked to her, but I didn't say goodbye.
Why not?
On the day of deportation, they came into our town at sunrise. Mama was very ill and had no will to move, so we decided not to run anywhere and just to stay together. Papa said we should hide somewhere, so naturally I thought of Inga, and I ran upstairs to ask her to help us, hide us, anything. I knocked on her door for a long time, but no one answered. And suddenly there was a loud commotion down on the street, and there were SS men with swastika armbands and machine guns dragging people onto trucks. And I saw my Uncle Samik try to argue with one of the SS, so they hit him in the head with their guns. And my cousin Avram tried to help his father, and they shot him till he stopped moving. And my Aunt Esther begged them to shoot her also, but they wouldn't. That's when I knew it was too late for us. I knocked on Inga's door again and again. I was sure she would listen, if only she could hear. I called to her, Inga, it's me, Miriam. Please open the door. There's no time left. Hurry. For God's sake, Inga, open the door. And then she opened it. Just a little crack. And answered me with cold, empty eyes. Go away. Can't you hear? Mother says it's too dangerous talking to your kind today, so go away and don't come back. You Jews are nothing but trouble. She closed the door. And then they came for us. So I ran to the attic and found a steamer trunk and got inside. I didn't know what else to do. And I heard my sister Hannah screaming for Papa. And so was I, without making a sound. And then I heard a dog barking, and the lid of the steamer trunk flew open, and 2 SS guards grabbed me by my hair and dragged me down the stairs onto a truck. And I tried to find Papa in the crowd, but it was too late. And the trucks pulled away. All I wanted to do was say goodbye. Oh, Papa.
Can you hear them? It's the Requiem. It's Father playing. Lay his father on the cello. I forgot how lucky I was to have him here with me. I don't know what I would do if I lost him.
I saw her, my good friend Inga, once more as the trucks pulled away. She was holding my colored pencils and my favorite China doll. And she was smiling. Not a nice smile. And then she waved goodbye.
Who's this?
That's Chaim, my friend.
And where did he go?
On the train with the others.
So when you feel like drawing, how do you know what to draw?
I don't know. Sometimes it's something I see or something I feel. Why?
Oh, well, I don't think I've seen enough to put down on paper.
Yes, you have. Here, I have an idea. Why don't you tell me what you see, and I'll draw it for you. That way, you know, I'll be doing the drawing, but it'll be coming from your imagination. Does that make sense?
Not at all, but let's do it anyway.
All right. What would you like to draw?
Oh, I don't know. How about a picture of you?
Me.
Well, yes, you.
No, not me. I don't know what I look like. I haven't seen a mirror in years.
I can be your mirror.
No, that's stupid.
Oh, well, thanks a lot.
It's not stupid. It's just not possible.
You said anything.
All right. I'll let you be my mirror.
Oh, really? Great. So, where should we start with my picture?
You should start with my head.
Your head. Well, it's a fairly large head for a girl.
Well, if you're just gonna criticize.
Well, I don't know how big average is, but your nose is nice.
Now, hang on. I'm still on my big head. I'll probably run out of paper. What does a nice nose look like anyway?
A nice nose. Let's see. A nice nose is a nose that you don't notice too much. You have to notice Frau Haupt's nose. It's all big and bulging. Yeah.
All right.
And your eyes are beautiful. Your hair, it's brown. It's got a funny little wave in the end of it. Put that in my picture. I'm not that bad an artist after all.
No, not at all. Your picture's still missing the lips.
Oh, missing. I wouldn't know what to say about the lips.
What's to say? Everyone has lips.
Do you know you're beautiful?
See that,
Miriam Fisher.
Oh, you want some
I
food, Miss
repeat,
Chubby?
Miriam
give you some
Fisher.
plate,
Immediately.
What about Leia Patrol?
What about Leia? If you said Fraulein Tubby, she might hear you.
I've had enough of you. Look, I should go and bring back what I can.
We'll manage.
Okay.
Leia, it's all right, Leia, it's all right. It's all right. Let's look at your drawings. It's a box. No, not a box. It has wheels. It's a train. Of course, it's a train. I'm so sorry, Leia. This must be so scary.
Oh, it's too horrible, and you're lucky I can't tell you.
It's okay.
You know that's against the rules. What are you doing?
Forget it, Corinna. They're hungry. They haven't gotten a call.
Give me that.
She didn't eat on the train.
Frogs! Frogs!
Corinna, please.
Stop it! Here.
Thank you. Corinna, please. Miriam, it's all right, Miriam, it's all right. Okay, she'll be fine, it's all right. What?
Aaron, she took my pictures.
She took what pictures? What pictures?
Miriam,
What is she gonna do, Miriam?
maybe she'll change her mind.
She might not do anything at all.
Miriam Fisher, immediately. Miriam Fisher, immediately.
Frau Hopst wants to see you right away. She wants to see your masterpieces in person. Time to explain, Miriam. It's too good. It's perfect.
You bitch.
What did you say?
I said you bitch! No, stop. Let her go. No, I didn't mean. No. Oh. Is that you playing, Father? You all sound so perfect, so clear. Papa, can you hear me? I met a girl today. Her name's Miriam. I know you'd like her, Papa. She's beautiful, just like Mama. She's an artist, just like you. Maybe she'll come over for Shabbat dinner. When we get out of here. Right now, she's in a lot of trouble. But I guess that's true about all of us, isn't it? I do miss you, though. I miss you, Mama. Papa, I miss everything. I miss my room, my piano. I miss school. Talk to me. Tell me something. Tell me we're getting out of here. Tell me we're going home. The Requiem, it's beautiful. I've heard it all day. And I know it's you. I know it's you and Mr. Patron. Tell him I'm taking good care of Leia. Papa, talk to me, please. Tell me something. It's only been one day, and I don't know how much longer I can wait. Miriam!
Miriam.
No, please don't touch me.
What happened? Why did it take so long?
What did they do to your hands? How are you going to write from now on?
They won't let us live, but they can't let us die. Not yet. Not before the Requiem. And we'll put on a good show for our visitors as if nothing bad ever happened here. Frau Hop saw my pictures of her with the devil horns and the dragon head and responded, which hand is responsible for such trash? And then she beat me with a stick again and again.
Punishment must always fit the crime.
That is enough! When those people come to hear the Requiem, I'm going to run out and I'll tell them what's happening, what's really happening to us. Then they'll send help, of course they will. Who wouldn't help children? We're in trouble.
And they'll send you away just like Chaim. You're not a hero, you're a musician, so just forget it.
God, Miriam, I'm a human being. And so are you, Celia, Rachel, and Leia. No, No, we don't deserve this. We don't deserve this. Someone, please, we don't deserve this. I'm not gonna sit here and die. I'm not gonna sit here and die. No. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
I do. I want you to write a letter for me.
A letter, Miriam, what for?
Just do it. You'll understand soon. Here, can I? Thank you. Here. Thank you.
We'll guard the door.
Yeah. Write this. Autumn, 1944, Block 22, TEREZIN. My name is Miriam Fisher. I'm 16 years old. I was brought here as a prisoner of this concentration camp in 1942. I was separated from my parents on that day. I have no idea where they were taken or why I'm a prisoner here. You getting this?
Yes, just slow down a bit.
Mostly wealthy people pay their way into this so-called holiday health spa. There are 60,000 people living in this very small ghetto, and there are 5 children living with me. The conditions are deplorable. We're living in hell. We have very little warm clothes, and there's no food, and there's bugs and rats.
Miriam, please slow down. I can't write that fast. All right, go on.
Many people have died of hunger, pneumonia, or suicide. We don't know what will become of us. What we do know is that the punishment for insubordination is deportation to Auschwitz. There, they put men, women, and children in gas chambers and cremate them.
Someone's coming.
Perhaps, is that you?
It's all right now. Go on.
I know about Auschwitz because my good friend Chaim Landau overheard 2 SS guards describing it. They caught him outside after curfew and they sent him there. I was beaten today. My right hand was smashed and my wrist was broken because they found my pictures that show how horrible it is here.
Hurry up, Miriam. It's almost time for latrines.
Is that all? Miriam, who's going to read this?
It's not all. Write this. If you should find this letter, you must tell someone about us. Please, before it's too late. We want to go home to our families. We want our lives back. Please, remember us. Right? Now, write it under here. Maybe someday, someone will find it. And the lie will be over.
We need to have some fun. It's getting too serious in here. We can sing or play a game. Anything you want. Celia, do you remember the song we used to sing in Hebrew school? Of course you know it. We used to sing it all the time. David, Melech Israel, Hi, hi, Mikael. That's it. That's it. That's it. Say a little louder. That's good. Sing. Do you remember the dance we used to do with it?
Of course I remember.
David, Melech Israel, Hi, hi, Mikael. I know another game. It's like follow the leader. Come on, it's easy. You'll see.
Oh, well, I have your doll now.
Now I'm the leader, and the leader says, come on, it'll be fun, I promise. Remember that you are all soldiers, a part of my army. First and foremost, a soldier. Stand at attention like so. I am your leader. You will follow the leader. Everything the leader says and does, you will do. I repeat, stand at attention like so.
No, be careful.
Stand up straight, men. Where is your pride? You're soldiers now. Feel important. All right, now quiet. I said quiet. Your leader is addressing you, so pay attention. I am your ruler. I am your leader in Block 22. I have all the power. You are all my soldiers, a part of my army. You do as I say, everything I say, or the punishment could be very severe. You'll do as I say, or you'll die. Stand up, soldier. Now I want you to pretend that these are shovels and you're going to dig. Now go! March! March! 2, 3, 4! 2, 3, 4! Faster! 1, 2, 3! March! 2, 3! March! 2, 3! March! 2, 3! Halt! Now I want you to dig. Dig! Faster! Halt! Now I want you to get in the holes.
I don't want to.
I said lie down and get in the holes. Now! Bang! 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 Now get up and face me. I said stand up! You will now pay tribute to me. I am your leader, I am your ruler, I am your master. I run Block 22, and I own each of you. You will sing to me. Sing! Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles in der Welt. And march! March! Über alles, über alles in der Welt. Now
Attention, please. Transport number 6429 has arrived on platform 2. Collect your things. Take all personal belongings. Have your papers ready and in order. You will board transport number 6429 immediately. I repeat, collect your things immediately for transport.
We're going home.
Oh, let's go. Come on.
Come on. I'm not one of them. I'm not Jewish. You told me I could stay with you. I don't belong with them. I did everything you asked me to. Everything. My father's a good Christian man. I'm not one of them. Just go. Just I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
That was the last time I saw my friends. When we arrived at Auschwitz that night, they were sent to the disrobing center. There, they collected people's belongings and marked off their numbers as they stepped into the gas chamber. I was sent to Birkenau, the labor camp, because, and only because, I was lucky. I survived. 8 months later, I was freed by the Russian army. From the Red Cross, I learned that I was the only survivor of my entire family. And of the 15,000 children who entered Theresienstadt, only 100 survived. I am one of them.
Roach. I play Corinna. I am 17. I've been a part of the show for 10 months. The reason that I do this show is because I believe that people learn through experience rather than words or facts on a page. I think that in times like this, when there's a lot of social injustice in the world, it's really important to tell these stories so things like this don't happen again.
Hi, my name is Ava Valianti. I am 11 years old. I've been doing the show for 7 years. I am Andrew's little sister. And the reason that I do the show is because I think it's really important to tell the story about all these people who didn't get a voice, who didn't get a say in what happened to them. And I think that we should make sure that people know that this happened and choose love instead of hate.
Hello, I am Andrew Valianti. I am 18 years old and I've been part of this show for close to 7 years. I am little Ava's big brother and I play Aaron Shapiro. I do the show because I was struck at a young age when I witnessed this performance and Anna Smolowitz speak about how corrosive and how overwhelming hate is, even on the smallest level. And so by participating in this, it's helped me to feel like I'm doing my part in fighting back against it.
Hi, my name is Catherine Lowell, and I'm 20 years old. I've been with the show for 4 years as both a director and an actor. In this, I play Miriam Fisher. I do this show because I believe strongly that art ignites action. And I think given the current state of the world, now is more than ever the time for action, and therefore the perfect time for art like this.
My name is Olivia Colden, and I'm 17 years old. I've been in this play for 6 years, and I played the character Celia Langer. I think I do this play because I want to share the message that it's important to accept and celebrate our differences instead of discriminating against people so that history doesn't repeat itself and this doesn't happen again.
Hi, I'm Jessie Rosenthal. I'm 16 years old and I played Rachel Langer. I've been with the show for about 5.5 years, and I do the show because in a way, we're the voices of the people who didn't have a voice.
Ava, what do you hope the audience takes away from your performance?
Well, I hope that they try not to hate and more try to love, to admit when they're wrong and learn from it. And I want everyone to not be a bystander to hate and prejudice, be an upstander. If you see someone being bullied or if you see someone being mean, you have to stand up for yourself and for others, because that is the kind and right thing to do, and we want to make this world a better place. And that's what I hope you got from this.
Or the Holocaust might not have happened if more people had done what Ava just said and stood up and spoke out when they saw something wrong. And they were really scared to speak up because it was a really scary time.
It's risky.
Yeah.
There's a lot at stake.
Mm-hmm. But we just need to remember that it's really important to speak up against this stuff, because this is how things like this happen, when people see it but they don't say anything.
Yeah. But I think that it helped a lot that we all lived in the same space together for a long, prolonged period of time. Clearly, it was not as cramped as our present living quarters. It did help us get sort of the dynamics, of each of us and how we all interact. Except for you, because you weren't nearly as
it helped me too, because then I had to go against it. So it's you guys all got to use the love that you created, but I had to fight that, which helped me in turn feel like Corinna maybe she does have a tiny bit of empathy.
Right.
I don't think she's completely.
So on that, when you have to do all these horrible things to people that you've now created a really tight bond with, how in your brain do you justify Corinna's actions as an actor and going about playing her? What do you?
Well, she's a capo, and she basically, her goal is to survive, and she's got to do what she has to do. And no one really knows what they would do if they were put into that situation. So I think it's fair for her to take that approach at survival. I think a lot of it too is that it's a fight between like her innocence, and I kind of just try to remind myself a lot of the time that she was taken by Nazis and separated from her family. Like, she was ripped from her home and like the doors of her home, the same as everyone else was. So she's a victim. She's not the villain. I think often like you want to point the finger and be like, Corinna was the bad guy, but no, it was like the Nazi.
What you and I know, and they know, but the audience might know, is that Corinna is based off of what Anna's mother needed to do to survive. And Anna's mother's deportation story is what I tell as Miriam's monologue. And I think you and I have talked about this, but I think that when you take, you know, all of the events that I talk about in my deportation and imagine it happening to Corinna, it explains a lot of her anger and a lot of why she reacts the way she does.
I just think she can't accept love, and I think at the end, like, that's why it's a huge blow, because, like, imagine if she had just accepted, like, grabbing the teddy bear, it's like the innocence, she's, like, accepting the love finally, and if, like, she had just done that, like, a little bit earlier, like, maybe she could have pulled herself out of this hole.
But she wouldn't, the reason she got out is because she didn't.
I know.
It's fear in the same way, because we've talked about this a lot, but, you know, we show a lot of audiences this, and it's the same people that just immediately decide that Corinna is the enemy. That
And that's like a societal thing,
that then
too.
stand up and cheer when Aaron strikes her down.
Yeah.
Even though that is not a victory. In fact, it is a failure, and it's the failure, and it's accepting hate. It's accepting everything that he knows, that we know that is wrong.
He's stooping down to her level.
Yeah, and it's incredibly hard to put yourselves in the shoes of someone who's been in this extreme of a circumstance.
Yeah.
None of us have ever experienced that.
Right.
We do a lot of research and a lot to mentally prepare in a healthy way as we can, but you know, that's how it goes. And
one of the ways that we like mentally prepare, well, Anna Smilowicz, she has like personal connection to this, and she's always telling us about stories. It's always like super sad, but like it kind of helps us like learn more about it. And we do a lot of character development, like kind of having backstories for our characters. And you got us these like journals, so we're like writing in these journals and like drawing as our characters. That's super helpful. It's kind of like hard. It's like a really, really sad play, and like it's hard to kind of like get into that mindset. And then once you're in that mindset of performing, it's hard to get out of it.
personally, I find a lot of solace in knowing, like, because when it feels so real, I remind myself that yes, people did go through this, but the reason we're doing this is so that people don't have to continually go through this.
Yeah.
And so
there's like a greater like
there's
message.
a greater purpose, right? And so
purpose behind
finding the
this.
purpose in it helps me, you know, come back to me after, you know, everything has been said and done.
You can't go too far in, or it's hard
It's
to get out.
really hard to pull yourself out, yeah.
You have to find like that middle balance, because you can't just not put yourself in either and close yourself off. You have
Right,
to, like,
and you also have to be able to
your
reach
heart.
those places we have to go, but we have to know how to healthfully be
How to
able to
shut it
pull
off at the end of
ourselves
the
right
day.
back in and
Yeah.
be like, okay, that's done,
And
put it away.
to find a segue, that was the real triumph. That was the real struggle. That was of this process, the process that we undertook to bring this show to audiences in the time of a global pandemic. This is a show that's been, as you guys know, touring internationally, nationally, for 47 years. For 47 years, and almost without fail. And it all had to be put on hold because of the pandemic and because of the situation that the reality that we found ourselves in, and so Katie, myself, we talked with Anna about the possibilities, about the far off pipe dreams of trying to find a way to safely sound like, you know, to replicate that process. And so what we ended up landing on is the cast quarantined, was tested, all in the lead up, and then met together in a house, our bubble house, as we called it.
And it was just us.
Up in the mountains,
It was just
thrown
us.
away, yeah, threw away the key.
Adults.
The
And
adult being
we spent-
me and
You
Andrew.
More so you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yes.
It's 'cause I cook.
Yeah. and what we were able to find is that it was an out of body experience for about 6 days to not only just live in it, but to also live with it and live with each other and find the connections, find the ways that we were able to really find it within ourselves in a pandemic, which had seemed near impossible only a week prior.
Yeah, it's kind of incredible. You and I have been talking about one day doing this film. Like, we had talked about this, like, you were like, I'm gonna go into film, and then one day in like 40 years, you're gonna play Frau Hops.
Yes.
And I've never been more excited to do
Absolutely.
that in my life. And all of a sudden we were like, okay, we might want to fast track that
Because
idea.
this is like the first time TEREZIN's ever been filmed.
Ever been filmed,
We
yeah.
always perform in front of a live audience.
And it's very weird to not have that live audience.
Yeah.
Like, I've never performed in front of a live
I'm very used to,
Yeah, this
you want to know this, and actually almost every single audience I've ever seen, both when I was playing you and being Miriam, when he turns around and he's like, you bitch, they all cheer, people stand up, there's a gasp, there is a palpable feeling in the room. And like, that's why that standoff moment is so interesting with a live audience, because you can feel it. They feel it, and they hate you. They hate you. But you turn, and in that moment, you feel it. But it's also very interesting because at the end, when you are begging for your life, they feel that too. And I think that energy, like, you can feel the audience progress in thought throughout the entire performance.
I hope at the end that they like get on.
And just because I know that I'm gonna channel Anna, what Anna always loves to do with this audience that reacts this vigorously to this, is she loves to have everyone sit down and just be like, who clapped, who was happy to see Erin, and then they'll raise their hand, and then she'll just go, why? And just see if anyone, and she said, why was she so beyond sympathy? Because that's the point of the show, is that no one is beyond sympathy.
Well, there was one show that we did where at the end we did the talk back like we're doing now, and a girl stood up in the middle of the audience and said, I would be Corinna. And it was
That was the
dead
Harvard show,
silence.
right? Yeah.
It was dead silence. And she explained that you have no clue what you would do in this situation, and she would try to survive. And that's all it is she's trying to survive.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we've all talked about it, sort of picking at it, but the reason we all felt so strongly about doing this right now is not just in the United States, but worldwide, there is just this feeling of, you know, prejudice and hate that is like fervent. You can feel it everywhere. And that's not far away. When we walk outside these doors, we see it. There's, you know, you can feel it everywhere. And that, you know, we can feel the injustice. And we've all been involved with this for, you know, a period of time. It's part of who we are. And so I think we all felt like we need to answer the call.
Like, I feel like you could boil down everyone's like purpose of why they're here is because like these were human beings and we're human beings.
Yeah, and I think even if you boil it down to a specific thing, I would boil it down to Chaim, who was real, and his letter in a museum is what you know, prompted Anna to write this entire show. And
What allows us to be here today.
He wrote, and I say what he says, which is, remember us. And I think the way we choose to remember Chaim is to stand up for every single Chaim in the rest of the world when it feels like no one else will.
Is Andy's hair a seventh character?
What'd I do?
Just got called out.
What'd I do?
I said, is Andy's hair a seventh character?
What was the question?
You're going on the quote list.
Thank you.
How long did we all have to postpone our haircuts?
That's not an insult.
Don't worry.
This is actually a true story.
This is actually hilarious. I don't know if this is why you did it.
When was the last time you got a haircut? Because remember, we pandemicked on March 13th,
Yeah.
right?
Probably around February.
I haven't.
This is a time capsule, guys. This is how we know. We're gonna watch this back in 50 years and be like, what was that idiot doing with his hair?
I haven't cut my hair since December. And I was all excited to get my hair cut. I was like, oh, finally, it's so long and horrible. I can't wait to cut it off. And I was like, just kidding, you're going back to the Holocaust.
And all that this show has brought us, you know, a moral compass, a greater societal viewpoint, a family, really. Of all that it's given us, we all, I think, can agree that the reason that we're here is because we wanted to give back, and we wanted to be able to spread this message more than maybe it had ever even been able to be spread before. And so that's,
now that it's filmed, it might be able to go more places than we would just going one by one to
Yeah, because
different
I mean, normally
locations.
there's the 6 of us, but there's also duplicate us, so that you know
Clone.
those of you who are still in
Keep 'em in the
school
back.
don't have to miss ridiculous amounts of school to travel the world. But even then, we're not always able to go to where places can go. So, you know, in the short term, when we can't really travel places, this will be our way to spread our message and you know, talk about the things we talk about. But going forward, it also serves as a way to reach communities and reach minds and hearts that we might not have been able to reach otherwise.
because as horrible as it is, this show has, in recent years, it's been an outreach program. It's been something that we've kind of transformed into a way of really addressing this with communities that actually have been touched by hate. And as deeply horrible as it is, hate crimes and just acts of horrible and unspeakable hate have been more prevalent than ever. We've done more shows in the past 5-6 years than we had in 30.
Right.
And so we can't be everywhere at once. And so that's where this comes in.
I also think we should mention we're all here because of Anna. If Anna hadn't written this, like,
oh, absolutely,
our lives would have been so different.
I do not think I would be pursuing acting with my life if I had not met Anna. Of course, I was involved in the arts prior, but I genuinely would have gone into like a STEM field, which is, you know, equally as amazing.
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, by doing things like this, it really drove me to be like, this is my way. It's not necessarily the only way. It's definitely not the only way, but it's my way to give back.
I think Anna's changed all of us as people.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I think that especially because I did this from a young age, she's one of the main
3,
reasons.
right?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
That's insane.
at
And
you
now you're wearing my shoes.
but basically, especially because I did this from such a young age, she's one of the main reasons, and this is one of the main reasons that I want to help people so much. This is like one of the main reasons I don't want to hate. I want to, you know, feel compassion and empathy for people, and that's why I want to help and give back.
Couldn't have said it better myself, love.
So thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.